matter. Well, Gavin is one of the best tennis coaches, as I say, in the tennis history. He coached 8 top 10 players. Maybe you can talk a little bit about you.
Sure.
And then you can introduce a little bit yourself, who you coached, and you give us a little bit of feedback about FIBA tennis.
Yes, sure. Thanks, Benny. Look, I think that one of the things is that over the years, you know, I'm getting older, and over the years you spend much time with many good players, both in developmental stages as well as when they're at the elite level. Each coaching level is a little different, but you see traits when you see players and what their potential is. I suppose when I was on the tour, I didn't really take a player under my wing unless I saw that they could improve in some aspect. So what I did was I looked at where they could go, and therefore you come back and look at the processes that need to be put in place to be able to allow them, give them a chance of being an elite player. So when you took a player that's 200 in the world, you've got to look and say, can they be top 50 or top 30 with their game, their athleticism and things like that? And then you put the processes in place to be able to give them a chance to be able to reach that level. If you do it right, there's a good chance you will get that level, and also you may exceed the level that you even think. And I think that's been, I've been a little fortunate during that time, that I think some of the players that I worked with they finished a bit above where I thought they could go. So it's nice. Many years ago, 17 years ago, I came to Turkey to put that process in place here to see what we could do. We took a bunch of 10, 11 and 12-year-olds and put the first wave of tennis players in Turkey on the tour. So all the players in the Grand Slams now under the Turkish flag came through our system. So coming back, you came here and I saw a couple of videos, and I look for, at this age, I look for 3 or 4 things. I think the process from 9 is okay. You've got time. You've got time before they get into their teenage years. You've got time before they really have to, as their game develops, and put them into the pro level. First and foremost, both guys and girls, but I think for the girls nowadays, I look for a bit of speed, athleticism, let's look at the pure athleticism. That's one aspect of this. But if you can't run, you can't play tennis today. For sure in guys, that's for sure. But the girls are getting faster and faster, I see that. And therefore what we've got a situation is, first and foremost, does she move? And she moves great. She moves great. So we tick off the first box, which I would think is perhaps the most important box. The second box we tick off is that she's been exposed to tennis during the years before 9. So there's hand-eye coordination drills, and there's just the athletic feeling of doing sport. But we've hit a few tennis balls, and we know what we're doing. So she's got that basic grounding already. Exactly. You know, so, and ready to put her game together to start this process. Now, before 9, you're still just trying to get them to feel how they can contact the ball at the correct point. So I've spent a little bit of time with her in the past week, and it's been interesting because there has to be, first of all, a period of listening. So a player at this age has to really listen to the coach. They might not understand everything, but they've got to listen and then ask questions if they don't understand. So there's a listening, there's an understanding, and then there's an implementation. You're not sure whether one of those aspects could break down. They don't listen, so they don't concentrate and don't listen, so that's the end of that. They don't understand, so you've got to actually do a visual, you listen, you see, you hear, whatever is going on, so you start to understand. The third aspect is being able to put that into your own body and put that into practice. Now, at this age, it's not going to happen in 5 minutes. It's going to happen over time. But I've been actually very intrigued with her learning ability, and that shows me that this is not very hard to do if she keeps on in the next 5-6 years and keeps the tennis training up and volume up. The only point I sort of come back to when I see this, I want a young player that's going to be an elite player is really focused on what they love the game, they love hitting balls, and they're really focused during their sessions. So we can keep a young player out there for as long as we want because they want to hit balls. It's been interesting to watch it.
Yeah. I'm very glad I'm here that you give us the opportunity that you have a little there, and then you can jump into this project now as a godfather for our project, which is involving Germany, Turkey, Qatar, China, and Switzerland, of course. Philip he has a big role on this as he's the owner of the center, and he's the person. Also, he played high level of tennis. He played Division I college. He played pro tennis until challenger level. But he has been growing his love into the tennis industry, so he knows. And Philippe, I started with him. Then I have the lucky that I crossed him now since 9 months, and we are working together. And then eventually, well, by you jumping in now is a big asset, and we are very happy that you can be the one who guide us to take Philippa to the top. As a former coach of ex-top 8, top 10, and currently working with Marin Cilic, you think that Philippa has a chance in what you see at the moment currently on her, that she can eventually become a player?
Okay, you guessed a little bit.
Yeah.
But what I would call it's an educated guess.
Yes, okay.
So you see, at this point in time, you would say yes.
Yes, sir.
Of course, there's many hurdles to get over and steps to take. And there's lots of things that can go right, and there's lots of things that can go wrong along the way. However, what I see at the present stage, yes, she's got the support system behind her. She's got enough talent.
Yeah.
And now it's a few years of hard work.
Okay.
But keeping it fun for her. Yeah, we've got to keep it fun, but she's got to do the workload during these next few years as she becomes a teenager and then develops the strength and size.
Okay.
So I think that yes, I would say yes, but I would say if there was a couple of those things that I didn't tick off, I would probably say no. You know, there's no if she's slow, I'd have to start and say this is not going to really happen because the girls that in tennis now hit the ball so hard.
Yeah.
You have to be fast.
Of course.
You've got no choice in being fast.
Exactly.
But yes, I see now. The support system behind her is so important that we're all in the same direction and trying to help her along the way. She's going to have to want it herself, not us.
Yeah.
But it'll be it's a fun project.
It's a fun project. Long-term project. A long way to go.
And you know what? It runs through so fast. I started with these 10-year-olds in Turkey.
Yeah. That's why we would like that some people who doesn't know you in that aspect, because you are a legend, a very famous coach, into the top of the end of the second week of Grand Slam, semi-final, final, winning, but they don't know this other part of Gavin, these unique skills of Gavin, that is eventually take player from ground zero and put it into the top of the world. So what you did, for example, in Turkish tennis is amazing. Yes. What you developed here, that nobody in the beginning believed on this or something, and you really proved by facts that things can be done.
You know what? It's almost like you dream a little bit where you can go, and then you pull yourself back into what are we going to do today? What are we going to do today, right here, right now? Every ball we hit, every step we take is a in the moment sort of thing. So if you stay in the moment, all of a sudden the years run by
and the things start to happen, man.
And they've made it. Yeah. It's fun to watch. You know, it's fun to actually reflect. So you always got this aim that where we're going, but the moment and the little steps in between are so important. And we managed to put that in Turkey, it's been fun to get the relationship with all these players as they've gone through, and see them. It's rewarding in itself.
Well, Gav, thank you for your time. We are very happy in the name of Philip, his family, and myself, that you jump into the project as our godfather to get into that goals, to reach those goals. And always a pleasure to learn from you, from my side, and keep close to you all the time. This is
Thanks, Freddie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.